Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 releases tomorrow, so here's 10 things that you need to know before you jump in. The first is there's a brand new overhaul to the career mode. It now has purpose-driven gameplay. So unlike the sandbox of the previous version, the career mode offers a structured approach to the game now. So there's tasks like aerial firefighting, cargo transport, and even search and rescue. Each mission type has its own set of challenges. So for example, firefighting, you need to be able to fly with precision while navigating dangerous conditions. Now, this opens up a whole host of cool things that you're able to do in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and you can sort of get a better idea of what you enjoy in the game. It's no longer just flying from airport to airport and checking out, quite honestly, one of the coolest experiences in gaming that you'll ever try. But now there's a story mode, now there's a purpose that you can get behind, and it looks to be a whole lot of fun. The second is the massive update to the world. So obviously, Microsoft Flight Simulator is the whole planet, and it's now going to be even better. It's more immersive than ever before. There's animals that spawn in, fauna and flora everywhere, and you can adjust the scale of this as well. It looks really cool. They've improved the cityscapes as well, so urban areas are starting to look more realistic. There's more refined details when you're flying over that make iconic cities look just how they should, and it gives you more of an incredible experience. And like I said earlier, there's vegetation, water textures, and better light rendering, so making the natural world look more vibrant whenever you're flying low or cruising at a high altitude. The third is the new variety of aircraft. There's a wider selection of aircraft available, from commercial airlines like the A320 to the smaller bush planes for off-grid flying. And each plane has a unique feel, and they're obviously, like previous versions of Microsoft Flight Simulator, modelled after realistic physics, and they have detailed cockpits, recreating the in-life controls and instrumentation. But 2024 also introduces airships, and that'll give you a really interesting flight experience than traditional planes. So I'm actually really interested to jump into an airship and maybe cross the Atlantic. There's improved flight physics, so there's more accurate flight dynamics now. Aircrafts respond to real-world physics even more closely, so the flights feel more authentic, especially in challenging conditions like winds and tornadoes and rain. There's gonna be a more noticeable impact with weather and how that actually impacts the flying. So for example, if you fly through a storm, it will require skill to handle turbulence and wind gusts rather than just being blown around. And there's also better air-resistant models that makes every type of plane, from jets to helicopters, behave as you'd expect in the respective environments. Number 5 is dynamic weather and seasons. Real-time weather effects update in real time, matching real-world conditions. You could be flying on a sunny day and suddenly hit a storm front. Seasons are finally fully integrated into the game as well, affecting both the visuals and how your plane performs. Snow, rain, thunderstorms, and even fog will dynamically change the scenery and flight experience. So flying in winter over snow-covered mountains is just as tricky as it sounds, but also, how amazing is that going to look? Number 6 is the expanded mission types. So obviously with the new career mode, they've added a bunch of new missions, but the new mission system adds a fresh layer of gameplay. Players can choose from firefighting, cargo delivery, medical emergency evacuations, and even more. The tasks are more than just fun, they're challenging, that requires you to have skills like precision flying, quick thinking, and sometimes even teamwork in multiplayer modes. But whether you're a lone pilot or tackling missions with friends, the scenarios offer a whole new way to experience the game than ever before, making it even more immersive and even more engaging. Number 7 is the multiplayer enhancements. So multiplayer has been significantly upgraded, which allows you to fly missions cooperatively or even compete in global events. You can now even seamlessly join real-time flights, where you can see other players in the world around you. You can be cruising along real-world pilots flying at the same time. Now, if you've ever flown on VATSIM, you'll know that this experience is probably unparalleled in the world of simulators, so I would definitely recommend you checking out VATSIM if you haven't, but this will give you a good idea of how it works without having the realism and seriousness of the VATSIM network. There's also organised events that allow players to tackle global challenges together, like a massive cargo delivery or aerial tours of famous landmarks. And I know this is going to be a big community driver, so maybe we jump on and we tour some cool landmarks, and maybe we do some cargo deliveries together. Number 8 is the increased support for VR and even 4K graphics. So, I've played Flight Sim in VR before, but you need a massive powerhouse of a PC to run it. But 2024 offers even better integration, so you can have a more immersive experience where you feel like you're actually inside the cockpit. The game now has higher frame rates and optimized performance that makes the game run smoother, even when using demanding graphical settings like VR or 4K. And I believe this is largely due to the texture streaming that's going to be happening now. The game is apparently only like 50 gig, which is incredible if they've managed to get it that small, and a lot of it is going to be streaming live rather than you having to store a lot of it on your system. Number 9 is the increased accessibility features. So accessibility has been a major focus with features like adjustable difficulty settings, making the game more approachable for beginners. The new control scheme allows players to use less complex setups while enjoying the core aspects of the flight still, and there's even more comprehensive tutorials to help players get a bit more comfortable with controls and basic flying. And last but not least, community content and mods. So modding support is one of the biggest strengths of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it has been for the longest time. The modding community is massive, and I know for me, the modded A320 has been the better experience that I've had, but players can integrate content from the community normally like you do in 2020, such as custom aircraft liveries and scenery packs. So there's a bunch of content that you can bring over, and mods from 2020 will also be largely compatible. I'm not sure if 100% of your stuff from Flight Simulator 2020 will port over to 2024, but I believe they'll try and make this as seamless as possible on day one. So Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is really going to redefine what we expect from a flight sim, and it's going to be an even more immersive experience. I'm super excited. I can't wait for it to release tomorrow. I'm honestly, I love the game, and we're going to be jumping in, we're going to be playing. I can't wait. If you're excited and you want to see some flight sim content here on the Crateup channel, then like, comment and subscribe. We have some amazing flight sim content planned for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and it would be great if you joined us.